Hello again. Alright, so today, you saw this already, but woke up, went on a run, and I went grocery shopping. Right now it's 11:30 and I'm making my breakfast for today. I made a smoothie after my run, but now I'm making real food. Smoothie was so this will hopefully be a lot better. It's basically just leftovers and I'm mixing it with eggs. Alright, so I'm gonna talk to you while I am eating my food. I'll try my best not to talk with my mouth full, but no promises. Okay, before we start this, please excuse the mess back here. I live in a dorm cabin thing, so it's just like this. So what I wanted to talk about today is kind of like an update of my how to prepare for a new semester video. If you haven't seen it, there's probably a link in this corner or that corner. Not sure which one, but one of the two. So you can watch that. But I just want to kind of like update it now that I've graduated. I feel like I know a bit more of what you should really be doing going into a new semester, whether it's your very first semester or whether it's your last semester or somewhere in the middle. I think this could benefit pretty much everyone. I have it all written on a list here, so excuse me if I keep looking at it. So to start, we have your basics, which kind of like housekeeping rules, not rules, but housekeeping of what you should already have planned out for your new semester. So you should already know your classes that you're taking, and you should be signed up for them already. I know some people wait closer to the beginning of the semester to switch into classes, or you have to switch out, all of that. I know how it goes, but at least have a plan of the classes you have to take. And unlike high school and middle school and all that, in college you don't really get a supplies list. The only supplies that you get are the textbooks that come with each class. They're really, really expensive. Out of proportion expensive. We all know that. I highly, highly suggest emailing your professor. If you know who your professor is for that class, email them and ask, is the required textbook something that you would suggest buying? Or something along the lines of that. I usually ask, like, how often do we have to read from the textbook, or, you know, something like that, to try and get an understanding of the worth of the textbook. Worth. How valuable the textbook will really be to you learning in that class. And I highly recommend that, because I've seen so many people go and buy textbooks that are like $300 and they say required online, because for my school you log in online and it gives you a list of your classes and the books that you need for it, and they usually say required, but they can also say recommended. But even though they say required, they are not always required by the professor. Things don't get communicated correctly, so they can come up as required when they're really not. They're more like suggested. So you just blew $300 on a book that you don't even need. You might also even be able to find the book online as a PDF for free, basically, or your professor might provide it to you for free. Yeah, you can put the cost of your semester down so much if you reach out and figure out if you need the textbook or not. This part is more personal preference kind of things. So the first is, what supplies are you going to use? You're going to use notebooks or your laptop, your iPad if you have one of those newer iPads where you can take notes on. Do you use flashcards a lot? You know, pretty much the back to school supplies what you need. And I brought this up because for me personally, I don't like spending a lot of money on things that I pretty much already have. So even back in high school, I might have used a notebook for like half a year and used like 20 pages out of it, and there's 50 pages left now. You just use that the next year. You don't have to go out and buy all these new things. So especially if you're trying to be on a budget, you just reuse all of your supplies. You really don't need to buy new supplies unless they're completely out. Most colleges usually hand out a ton of supplies too, like organizations. They might have like pens and notepads and highlighters, stuff like that. So you really don't need to blow your budget on school supplies that you pretty much most likely already have. The next is, how are you, and I'm talking about you personally, going to stay organized in college? You will not succeed if you are not organized. I cannot stress that enough. Deadlines are coming at you from every direction. Assignments coming at you from every direction, meetings, tryouts, auditions, everything, work schedule. I could go on. So I used, the first 2 years of college, I used a regular planner. I think I got them from Target or something. And I pretty much just wrote my assignments in that, any meetings, that kind of stuff. And it was fine. But then I learned about the bullet journal. And if you don't know about the bullet journal, you can Google it, YouTube it. It's all over the place, basically. So yeah, I used the bullet journal. I was able to create my planner to the way that suited me the best and kept me the most organized. And I also used Google Calendar on my phone, on my iPhone. I couldn't always reach into my backpack really quickly and write something down. So having it on my phone, I could easily put a reminder on the day that something is happening and just transfer that into my bullet journal later if I wanted to. So figure out how you function the best, how you stay the most organized. It's different for everyone, so it's alright if it takes you a little bit to figure out what keeps you the most organized. And the next thing, kind of following organization, is figuring out how much time you have in the day to do what you want to do. So what I mean by that is that pretty much, for the most part, every day during the week, you're gonna have classes. You're gonna have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, very important. You might be in a club that meets once or twice a week, so that's another thing taking up time in your schedule. And then you want to have fun too. You want to go hiking or go out with friends and stuff like that. But you have to allot time for all of this. So it's really important to look at your schedule before the semester starts. Figure out how much time you want to allot to each class for studying and for homework. If you already have the syllabus for all of your classes, that would be really helpful to be able to see how much time each class is going to take out of the day outside of class time. And then if you work a job, if you're on the committee for something, any of your extra activities, you have to allot for that as well. And then you can allot for fun things. And I'm only saying this because, especially if you're first going into college as a freshman, your expectations are probably a lot different than what the reality is in terms of coursework and fun things, you know. I've always said that if you have an exam in 2 days and your friends are telling you to come out that night, but you'd rather be studying, then study. No one's gonna like bash you for not going out for one night, because literally people go out every night. There's always someone going out every night. So you're really not missing much. There are definitely other times you can go out that will not damage your academics, is basically what I'm trying to say. And the last part that I wanted to touch on are goals. So I'm sure if you've ever heard or read something telling you how to achieve your goals, and they've got the exclamation points and the stars everywhere saying, if you stick to it, you can do it. And you're like, yeah, sure, that's great, but you hear that everywhere. But you kind of just have to do it. You have to stick to them, and remind yourself why you set those goals in the first place. So what kind of goals am I talking about? Really, they could be anything you want them to be. If maybe you're retaking a class that you failed last semester, so you obviously now have the goal of passing that class, but you want to pass it just barely getting by, or do you want to like really shoot for the sky? Which is like a dumb way of saying it, but do you really want to like raise your grade up way higher than it was before? I know at my school, the recreation center there, if you were able to lift a certain amount for bench, deadlift, and squat, then you joined the weight club for however much your weight totaled to. And that was one of my goals. I didn't achieve it because I just couldn't get to the gym enough to do it. But you know, that's an example of I didn't stick to it. I didn't remind myself why I wanted to achieve that goal. And then something that I think is helpful for goal setting is to make smaller goals that lead up to the big goal. Even if it's for like an assignment, if you know an assignment is due in 3 months, everyone always says, oh yeah, I'll start now so I don't have to do it later, and then they end up doing it the night before it's due. So maybe like every week you set a goal saying, I'm gonna have this part of the project done, I'm gonna do this part of the project. So then by the due date, you've got the whole thing done, but you've done it little by little. And the last part I want to talk about in terms of goals is a goal that I think everyone should set for this new semester, and that is to try one new thing this semester. And that could be maybe take a new fitness class, maybe you have room in your schedule to sign up for like a fun class, an extra class. Maybe you know of this group that goes like rock climbing and you've always been interested in it but never went out. Go out with them. Or you know, really whatever you've been looking at and you're like, that would be really cool to do it. Because by the time it's your last semester, trust me, you'll look back and be like, man, I should have done this, and this. I could have been doing this by now if I had done it 3 years earlier. So just don't limit yourself to what you're able to do in college, because it really goes by so quickly and it's a ton of fun. Well, that's me speaking. I had a ton of fun. I know not everyone does, but you know, you make it what you want to make out of it and you'll have a great time. So that's all I had for today. I really hope that this helped you out a little bit. Definitely make sure to check out my old how to prepare for a new semester. I still stand by all the things that I said in there. I just didn't want to repeat them because what would be the point, you know? So yeah, check that out. And if you have any questions or want any advice, make sure to leave it down in the comments below. And also let me know in the comments if you are starting a new semester, what are you most excited about? And if you have already graduated, let me know what was your favorite thing that you looked forward to when you were starting a new semester. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe down below. I'll be releasing more college prep videos in the upcoming weeks, so make sure you hit subscribe to see more. That's it for today. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.